This week on the Kokomo Press Podcast, we have special guests to talk about the Cole Porter Festival in Peru. So have a good time. Check us out. We're going to have a great time this day. And stay tuned for more.
Warning, this video contains adult content not suitable for children.
What's up? It's Kokomo Press Podcast. My name is Jordan Granger, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host,
Courtney.
And we're here to talk to some very fantastic people. Tell us who you are and give us a little intro.
I'm Chris Badami, co-producer of the Cole Porter Festival in Peru.
And I'm Kati Roberts, the other co-producer of the festival.
There we go. And so we're having Kati and Chris on. Chris, right? I'm terrible with names, so I got to do. And Kati, I was like, it's not phonetically in America. We would say your name differently.
No, totally. So I always tell people like Ducati, like the motorcycle, or cottage cheese, which is not as flattering.
That's perfect. Yeah, cottage cheese. Or cottage by the bay.
Cotton.
Beautiful cottage.
Some people call me Cotton.
Yeah. Kati. This is Hungarian. I heard Hungarian, right? That's cool.
The Hungarian version of Katie.
See, I had a girl when I went to school. Her name was Brittany. But her name wasn't Brittany; it was Brittany, and she was a very.
She would get very mad.
She would say, "My name's not Brittany; it is Brittany."
Oh wow,
Brittany! And I was like, "Hey, you got to own your name. It's you. It's who you are.
Yeah, right.
You got to."
But then you have me, who has my name spelled stupid, and I just don't care.
Yeah, your name is spelled. Hers is Cortni, Cortni.
Right.
Yeah.
There's only so many ways to pronounce that, though.
I get Cortini a lot.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I think I look Italian. You can go with that. Why not?
But you're not high maintenance about it.
No.
That's good.
I got to bring her down a little bit. She's a little loud right now, Courtney.
I'm
Talk
sorry.
a little bit.
I'm always loud.
Yeah, I got to figure out. I think you're in 4. Maybe that's what my problem is. I'm over here
Because I'm
messing with
supposed to be number 1.
I'm number one. There we go. Yeah. See, that's why I kept the headphones on.
My pitch
last
changes
week.
a lot.
Yeah, you do go up and down. It's
Yeah.
pretty great. You're good. You've got peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
Peaks and valleys. Yeah. So we're talking about the Cole Porter Festival today, and you guys can see a little bit here. What we've got here with these beautiful. What do you want to call them?
They're posters.
Posters.
Yeah.
They're more than
Promotional
posters.
materials.
They've got so much more than. I've seen posters before. Never as good as this. Never as much information. I love this
They are
it's
very
like
detailed.
it's like a poster, but it's also like a menu. I love it. It's a beautiful menu of what they're gonna have going on at the Cole Porter Festival. And if you didn't know about the Cole Porter Festival today, before today, it's in Peru. It's June 9th to 12th, and check it out. I think it's like you guys are doing a kickoff on the 9th, but the 10th is when it really gets going. Right?
You got it. Yep.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm excited to check it. I've actually never been. I'm going to be honest. You guys got a new person just by talking to me.
That's
Yay!
awesome.
And I went through and I looked through. I was like, oh, Cole Porter. Let's look him up. And he's you hear about people like Haynes and Apperson, and I'm like, who are these guys?
Mm-hmm.
And you hear about him, you're like, let's look him up. And then I went through my iTunes, and I already had Cole Porter in my iTunes this whole time and didn't even know it.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. No, he's very much somebody that everybody actually knows all of his songs. They just don't remember that the songwriters are often the people who get forgotten about.
Absolutely.
Cole Porter was a celebrity back in the day, but today it's all about who's performing.
Yeah.
Even back then, Sinatra and Ella Fitzgerald, everybody's like, oh, that's a Sinatra song. I'll quote Sinatra. You're actually quoting Cole Porter.
That's see, you guys are gonna find out about this later. But I talked to Ward, which is your brother.
My brother.
Yeah, and you guys are related. That's one thing we got to say. You are related to Cole Porter.
We are distant cousins.
That is so
we
great.
Have like a quadruple great grandfather in common or something.
Yeah, I haven't met Haynes or Apperson's family, so step it up, Haynes and Apperson. You got to do a better job. We've got Cole Porter's whole family hitting me up and having a great conversation, and you guys are all
to Jerome.
Yeah. There
All
you go.
right, there you go.
Who?
If that Jerome
Who's Jerome?
out by Greentown, like Jerome Cemetery.
Oh, you're related to who?
I'm related to Jerome.
I'm related. I'm distantly related to Ulysses S. Grant.
There.
US
Oh,
president.
good job.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
why you sport the beard so
That's
well.
it's really it. I have Grant's my grandma's maiden
I
name.
feel like we bring this up a lot.
I know we like to talk about the few things we know. It's like we talked the last podcast. If you check that out, we talked about the new Netflix documentary Our Father.
Oh,
Have
I
you
haven't
seen
seen
that?
it yet. No.
It's insane. We're not going to get too much into it now. Obviously, we're talking about Cole Porter today and talking about whatever we want. But with the Netflix documentary, it's just very weird because there's like a 23andMe component to it and learning about your ancestry. And then there was like this whole bizarre. So if you're ever on Netflix and you're getting ready to go to bed, you're like, I want to watch something. it'll either go one of two ways. Either you'll put it on and you'll fall asleep because it's a documentary, or you'll put it on and you'll be like, okay, it's 3 a.m. What am I doing? This is insane.
So good morning.
That'll be
us,
you.
Yeah.
I'll be asleep. You'll be awake.
It's always like that. My fiance last night, the same thing. Like, let's put something on before bed. I'm like, if you put something on, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna sleep and you're gonna watch it because I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. Yeah. So, Kati.
I both. That's fine. Yeah, Kati.
I like saying it. It's really cool. Way cooler than Jordan. There's so many R's there. It's so Midwestern. Hi, I'm Jordan. So it's great. You guys do this festival. This is the 30th annual. So you guys are the producers of it. So you guys, it's all on you.
Yeah.
It's all on your shoulders. How does it feel carrying the coal form?
Right.
How does it feel doing it all? It's exciting.
Yeah.
We have a lot of help. You know, it's been a volunteer organization for a really long time, and they are kind of wanting to grow it. And so previous producers actually asked us to produce, since that's kind of like our professional realm.
Yeah.
And then they, basically, I don't even know how to describe it, but they asked us to do it, and then it's kind of the right time to bring a bunch of past Cole Porter Festival elements back into it.
Yeah.
So you're better and more concise about
Yeah, Chris, tell us something.
How you describe the poster as like a menu. A lot of the items on the menu that you see there are events that were created by the predecessors producing the festival. So like Lunch with Mr. Porter, the Charles Troy stuff, the Roaring Twenties party, Cocktails and Coal. Those are things we're obviously bringing back. Their music at the museum was one of the first events. So bringing all those back, but then we're adding a lot of new events to try to really make it bigger for the 30th annual, and especially events that will help bring in a younger audience that might not be familiar with Cole Porter, even though they live right in Peru, where he was born. And it's incredibly inspiring that this guy went on to write over 1,500 songs for Broadway, TV,
very popular ones,
theater,
very popular.
yeah,
and they don't even know that he has popular songs they've heard.
Exactly. When I was a kid watching Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, I didn't know who Cole Porter was yet, but when Kate Capshaw is singing "Anything Goes" in the opening of that film
in Chinese,
now I'm like, that's Cole Porter. You know, don't fence me in as Cole Porter.
Yeah.
You know, you're the top.
I get a kick out of you,
Yeah,
which is like one of the or Night and Day. Those two are both
Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
I get a kick out of you. So he's all over the place.
Night and Day, Begin the Begin.
Yeah. There's so many good, and that's the thing about like American standard music, where I think it's standards now, right? They can classic standards.
There's something called the Great American Songbook.
Okay, and that he's
falls
part of
into
that.
Yeah,
the Great American Songbook.
Irving
But like,
Berlin and all
yeah,
those
there's
guys.
so many, and he's. Well, if you watch I urge people to, if you're like, this is really cool, how do I not know about Cole Porter, and he lived right over here, like 20 minutes away. Go on to your guys' website. You guys have a website. You guys have the PBS documentary embedded, correct?
Yes, it is coleporterfestival.org.
And if that's too hard for you because you're a modern person like me and you're like, I get all my stuff in one place, I need Walmart. Go ahead and go on to YouTube. They also have it on there. But if you can, go to the website, because I'm sure there's way more information there than you'll get on YouTube. I found the documentary before I was even able to talk to you guys. It's like, if I'm going to talk about Cole Porter, I need to know about him. And then I sat there and just like flummoxed just watching this documentary. Like, this is really good. Ethel Merman. Like, there's so many. Was it Bob Hope?
Yeah.
Many people.
Bing Crosby.
Yes.
Danny Kaye. I mean, just all of them. Like anyone you can think of.
And then, of course, Frank Sinatra. Michael Bublé. These people still, do these songs by him. Harry Connick Jr. Yeah, Harry.
Well,
I can't forget him.
We can't within that forget that Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett just won a Grammy for Best Female Pop Album. 100% Cole Porter songs.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that insane?
Wow.
Love for Sale is a Cole Porter song.
20 minutes north.
Yeah.
He's there where he's from. And people don't even, and that's what's crazy to me. I'm like,
he sent me the video, and I kind of watched it. I watched it while I folded laundry.
Oh, yeah.
And I listened to the majority of it, but I didn't really get all I didn't really see it because I was listening to it.
Yeah.
I was doing other stuff. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff in there I didn't know it existed.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part.
And he was
It's a big part of
wild.
our mission.
Yeah.
When they said Peru, I was like, what?
Yeah. And that he was, a lot of people might perceive it as this old-timey thing, but he was wild for his time.
Oh, yeah.
He was.
When he wrote Anything Goes and says, in olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked on as something shocking. Now anything goes.
Yeah.
That's how life is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The things
absolutely.
that were shocking to us just 10 years ago. Anything goes now, you know. So, but the world is so edgy and alternative and futuristic now
He was way ahead of his time.
that this
Trailblazer.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the more crazy the world gets, the more appealing this becomes to go back in time and look at this dapper guy in a suit, this black and white time with this great music. But he was also wicked, as he's described in that documentary.
His
you know, he
lyrics and his sensibilities, and he was very clever.
Always pushing the
always
edge.
pushing the envelope.
I saw him on
Yeah.
a talk show. I think it might have been part of the documentary. They brought him on a talk show, and he just seems such like a very like introverted guy. But you also you hear the stories about him in the Riviera and hanging out with F. Scott Fitzgerald and
Right.
hanging out with Pablo Picasso and like just out there having a great time, having these great parties. And I mean, and then brought the feel of all that home into music, where a lot of these people, post World War, Great Depression era, and then you've got the World War, and and he was doing efforts out there, and then you've got these people that maybe that they never have a chance to go to Europe and hear about France, and he wrote what is it, a musical about Paris? Is
Yeah.
it called Paris?
Yep.
Yeah, so like these people maybe never would have known anything about this. This is America before the plane is really commercial flights weren't even around.
Yeah,
That's
and-
a good point.
and a
Those
great-
steamships.
A great recent film, if people want to watch a good movie that gives you that feeling, is Midnight in Paris.
It is,
Yeah.
The Woody Allen film.
Is that, what's his name? Wow. Is
Yeah,
he
yeah.
in it?
Owen Wilson.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I hear
Yeah.
is wow.
But it features an actor
Wow.
playing Cole Porter,
Yeah.
and so there's a lot of Cole Porter music and that whole world of F. Scott Fitzgerald, and it's a really great film.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, if you haven't
Yeah.
seen it, it really captures the essence of like Cole Porter's kind of crew,
and
right?
the decadence,
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
the sophistication and
There's sophistication. There's it's very bohemian. It's
Yeah.
very like it's not like over. Well, there was a lot of money in that crowd too. It's true. There was a lot of sophistication,
Yeah.
a lot of class, stuff like that. So I mean, that's what's been actually one of the biggest challenges. How do we open this festival up to our entire community, where
Yeah.
we have just a very broad demographic in Peru from Cole Porter's descendant. Well, he didn't have any kids, but his family, right,
Yeah.
which came from one of the richest families in Indiana to begin with. And then we have all of these people in Indiana who would love to come out and appreciate amazing music, would actually do know Cole Porter and all these things, but it's not like they are from money.
Yeah.
So how do you not alienate them? How do you make
Yeah.
how do we welcome
make it
everybody?
accessible to the everyman.
Accessible and
Yeah.
relevant.
Yeah.
That's exactly the word I was looking for.
But part
Thank
of it
you.
is I really love, and I brought this up, one of the reasons why I brought this up on the iPad and I wanted to show people again is you guys have done a wonderful job of bringing Cole Porter to the people rather than bringing the people to Cole Porter.
Oh, awesome.
So, and I think that's a great thing. Like having, a songwriting workshop, that's something that he would enjoy. When I was talking to Ward about it earlier, one of the things we were talking about was how it feels like something he would enjoy. If he was around today, he would come to the festival and say, you know what, there's so much here. We can have the Roaring Twenties party and have a great time, but we're also going to learn about music and learn about the history of it and listen to like different interpretations. They have you guys are having a contest for
Yes.
people, a cover tunes contest for
Yeah.
his music, which is great. I love that idea. I wish I'd have known about it. I might have come out there and
How
sang a
did we
couple
not
songs.
know about this?
Yeah.
We've done festivals before.
I know, we're the worst.
Yeah.
Well,
that-
you guys can come out and cover it if you want.
Yeah.
I know,
I
right?
cannot sing. He can
Cover
sing.
it
He's a singer, not
I'm
me.
a singer. I'm in a band, and the craziest thing about the band is, and I think I brought this up before, our band name is Grey Garden, which is a settlement in the game Fallout 4, which is where I heard of Cole Porter sing. I've actually heard his voice sing in that game.
wow.
They have
Really?
Anything Goes in the soundtrack,
That,
Really?
You did tell me.
What?
That's right. That's
and
right.
I
our
didn't know that.
band is named after the game that I first heard him in.
Isn't that
And
interesting?
isn't that
Because
weird?
you love that song so
man.
much.
I love that song. I do. There's a line in that song where he said it's in the beginning, so I'm not like spoiling too much. You guys check it out. But there's that about Plymouth Rock would land on us, basically
Yeah.
saying like Plymouth Rock would land on them,
Yeah.
and he's basically saying like we're like the glimpse of Stocking, the whole idea of like nowadays things we can do whatever we want. There's no like there's nothing outrageous or crazy. We can do whatever we need to do. Anything goes nowadays, and I think when I was listening to that song, all I could think of is the Malcolm X movie with Denzel Washington, where we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. And I'm like, did they take that from Cole Porter?
did.
Whoa.
They might have. They used it in a great way. So
They did.
I'm like,
Oh,
Yeah.
that
that's a
might
great
be a
connection.
Cole Porter connection there.
There's
We might have
no
to
way
check
That's a
that out.
great connection.
Yeah,
for
and it's a great line in general, and obviously with the civil rights movement, it meant so much to them because it was even more applicable to what they were dealing with. So
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, man, this guy is so intrinsic to American culture that you may not even know things about him, know how much he's in your life without even knowing who he is.
Yeah.
100%.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the cover tune contest.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that one up because that's something that Kati and I introduced last year when we were volunteering to help the festival, because it was this aim of how do we get young people to like even just show up and look at the banners and say, who is this Cole Porter guy anyway?
Yeah.
So the idea of having local and regional bands, they get to do 2 songs in their own style,
Yeah.
and then they have to do 1 song in a Cole Porter song in their own unique style.
Yeah.
Right.
So we had a punk band doing a Cole Porter song,
Last year.
a very eclectic kind of sort of
Psychedelic
trippy psychedelic
rock
band do
thing.
another song.
Yeah.
Had a bluegrass band.
Bluegrass, I heard, is
They-
the one.
they
Ward
won.
told me about the bluegrass band. instead
Sparrow
of-
5,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're
They
an
won it.
amazing band anyway. You
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
if you don't know them, they're in the area too. They're awesome.
And it was
Yeah.
a great cash prizes, like the $1,000 top prize, and then the
Ooh.
other bands got prizes. So it was really incentivized to get people to do it and get excited. Thanks to Polly Dobbs, who's a great supporter and actually sponsored that event.
Great.
And is actually, it's her family who is, she came from the Kubishes, and the Kubishes married into the Coles.
Yeah.
So the James and Alice Cole Foundation that actually sponsors the songwriting workshop.
Yeah.
That is Cole Porter's family.
Okay.
So
That's
that is-
great.
that is Cole Porter, and so is Polly Dobbs. That's her legal firm, and she's a huge supporter in so many ways. And she really encouraged us to take that route because she is our age and she recognizes, we want to get young people realizing they know Cole Porter.
Absolutely.
Get them re-excited. Make sure they understand he is relevant. He's not old people music.
No.
I mean, even my mom was like, Cole Porter's my parents' music. She's like, but if I'm hearing it in these new ways now, that
Yeah.
are all, there's some really
to
cool
be
stuff
fair,
out
that's what I
there.
thought too.
Yes,
Like
that's
I
what
started the documentary, I was like, oh man.
I know.
So this isn't mine.
Yeah.
But
Or-
actually, I
or they
sent.
think
Like
he's
I
not
really
King
wish I
Cole.
would have paid more attention.
Yeah. Well,
No,
I
it's
sent.
fine.
I sent. Anything Goes. My buddy sent me an older song that he was listening to by who was it by? I can't remember. But he sent me a song, and so I sent him that one. And maybe it was a Smokey Robinson song, which isn't super old, but to us it's old because we weren't even alive when that came out.
Right.
Boo.
Cole Porter was like born in 1891.
Yeah, he's an older. He
He was in the 1800s.
He's a distinguished older man. But I sent him the Cole Porter song because I was watching the documentary at the time, so I sent him Anything Goes, and he listened to it, and he goes, "Man, that guy's got bars." As a hip hop fan, he was like, "This," and I was listening to it over and again. I was like, "There's so many things, parallels between modern hip hop." And what Cole Porter was doing with the decadence, and you think of modern music like Versace, like it's all about that, designer and doing the finer things in life, and that's a lot about what Cole Porter
I
did.
love
started
that. I
with
love
him.
that you see
Yeah.
that connection.
Yeah.
Because there is a definite connection there,
Yeah.
and it's very interesting.
The syncopation too, a lot of
Yes.
hip hop art.
Yes.
We'll do the, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
he's
and
got that feel.
list songs where he's
Yeah.
listing a lot of things. And
Oh, yeah.
it really ties
Yeah.
into a
We
lot
know.
of things you hear in music today.
Like You're the Tops comes to mind when you're seeing the list, like where he's kind of saying you're like this, you're like that. You're doing a lot of
Yeah,
you're
it's brilliant.
yeah. It's pretty great. And one of the things that a lot of people, we've got Pride Month coming up. This is happening in Pride Month.
Yes.
He was a gay man, wasn't able to live out because you're talking the early, the turn of the century.
Yep.
He definitely wasn't able to be out. He married a woman, and she appreciated him, and she was even more rich than he was, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that nuts.
You know what I mean? And so they brought their money together and they would throw these lavish parties. But he wrote this song, if you're the bottom, I'm the top, and or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like
yeah.
that should be a gay anthem, man. We got to put that out there for Pride Month.
Secretly, it is.
It's secretly a gay. Yeah, take it and put it on every float during Pride Month. Throw it on there. It's a great song, and I mean it's a show tune, and we not to be stereotypical.
The gays
but
like show
gay-
tunes.
the
You
gays-
gotta say it.
gays
Well,
like
yeah.
Gotta say it.
I like show tunes too. But
Sure.
the gays like show
right,
tunes
and
as
throughout history, you've always been able to say things in art or music that you couldn't say without
Absolutely.
getting thrown in a dungeon
Yep.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's how you push the boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's still like that today. There's certain things that you got to say through art
They're
and
trying
music.
to fight him.
You
But
know,
right?
yeah, you guys know.
Well, as a satire page, that's everything we do has like a tongue-in-cheek type of wink with it. So we're always trying to push, like politically the ideas of like we were talking earlier about, we have on the wall. I know you guys probably won't see it, but we have the article from the perspective when we did the top 5 places to OD, and that video is on YouTube. You want to check it out. But we did that video, and the whole idea was to like kind of. We're talking about all the pretty things. We're talking about the flowers, talking about all the things that are great about Kokomo. But let's make sure we're still focusing, especially in the summer, on the people that are ODing and going through this drug crisis that we have. That was
it's awareness that needs to
exactly
maintain awareness.
Absolutely, and so for us when we did it in our head, we were like, we were doing this in order to like kind of try to push.
Everybody
this
wants to
forward.
make everything look all pretty, but then you got
Yeah.
to realize there's all this ugly stuff still there.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah,
It's reality.
You
Right?
don't
it's-
want to do all these videos about top 5 places to go out to eat
Yeah.
and have fun. Like,
And
when
you
there's
need
people
that,
here,
but we're the counterbalance to that.
right?
We try to
you
be
gotta
the
have
counterbalance.
the bad with the good.
Yeah. And
Top
when you,
5 places to save someone. From
Right.
Yeah,
OD.
yeah. Well, we have our Narcan. I know it's hard to see because we
I'm
have a
in
little
the
bit
way.
less chairs here, so we had Kati sit a little higher up. We put her on a pedestal.
I like
She's
being
just
high.
making me
She's
look
related to
lower.
Cole, so she gets to be on the
Right.
pedestal.
Right there.
The rest of
I'll
us
take it.
You're the
plebes
top.
are down here.
I'm the
Just
top.
kidding. We're the bottom. You're the top.
She's
perfect.
the number 1 right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
the number 1. Yeah, I love a lot of what he stood for. Obviously, with he was born into money, and he married into money, but he still had that like work ethic where he wanted to be remembered. He liked to be on stage. He wanted to be applauded. So he didn't want to just skirt through life. He used his money and the things that he had in the special privileges and put it into a way and basically like funneled it into music and into arts and into Broadway, into film, into things that the average man who maybe like we talked about earlier couldn't go to Paris, couldn't hang out at the Riviera. They got to get a feel of that, and I think that that's something you definitely needed at that time. And even now, people like hip hop artists will come out wearing furs and talk about all this stuff. And part of it is we want to see somebody thriving. That's capitalism in America, baby. We want to see people,
Dang.
if we're going to live under it, we want to see people out here making money. We want to see people having a good time and spending it.
That's thriving.
So,
Well, and
yeah.
We need a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something to look to.
Yeah.
And imagine somebody from Peru did that.
Yeah, Peru, from right over there.
Well,
And then-
that's the point, because as soon as possible, Cole wanted to get out of Peru.
Yeah.
And
make
then it
big.
said that he never came back.
And
He
but
visited rarely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Yeah,
but
totally true.
he's laid to rest there at Mount Hope Cemetery, but he got out, he made it big, he's eternally famous, and that in itself is inspiration for people that grow up in Peru.
Absolutely.
Or
You
anywhere
can
close,
you can
yeah.
go on and do something great, but at the same time, we also want to build the pride of Peru, and that you can stay in Peru and it's a great city.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of history. We like to say Peru makes history.
Yeah.
Because there's the circus aspect there. There's Cole Porter, and people need to know that because it's a great city. It's been thriving over the past several years.
Yeah.
Kind of coming back up.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways that this is inspiring for if someone's in a band
Yeah.
and wants to make it, you can do it like Cole.
I played at the Nickel Plate Saloon once. In my band.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a lot of great.
That's
There's a
cool.
lot of great stuff there. I know. What's it? Spencer. Spencer's last name. I'm terrible with names.
Edgington?
It starts with an R.
Yeah.
Oh, I know
Richard
that guy.
Spencer. He's
Richard.
the
I
one.
work
that
with
runs
him.
The Nickel Plate. Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
work with him.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
know
So
that.
Richard Spencer runs that, and he does the sound. He actually did the sound for the Right to Play Music Festival that we put on here in Kokomo. So we've got connections to him, and then he went the Nickel Plate Saloon. My band Grey Garden played there, which was pretty great. Actually, the same
We've had a-
week we had my kid. I went to play a show there. It was like,
Well, you're gonna remember
hey
that.
babe, you enjoy the baby. I'll be over here playing the show.
What's the name of your
Sundown.
band?
Grey Garden.
Grey Garden, remember
Grey
the
Garden.
just only because he just said the video.
The seven.
Okay.
Yeah, the
I'm
seven.
bad with names.
No,
You
it's
know
okay.
why?
I'm the
Terrible.
worst. I'm the worst. I don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
Grey Garden, yeah. We're like a post-hardcore pop punk band. There's a little bit. When I tell people like there's certain songs that are like, kind of Blink-182ish, I give them that. But
I was getting him a chance to plug it.
I'm sorry, I
plug
don't
it.
my bad.
Grey Garden,
My
Grey
bad.
Garden. Check us out. They probably heard me enough on it. Really.
It's not my
We plug
memory.
his band enough.
Yeah.
No,
She's
I was
like,
just like anything goes.
He doesn't need any more.
Yeah. I don't need no more plugging for me.
Right.
I gotta unplug and
Come on, one more.
yeah, one more plug. Grey Garden. Now. check out the Cole Porter Festival. That's what we're talking about. If you guys are just getting in here now, look, we've got he's a handsome man. That's what I'm.
He is a good-looking dude.
Yeah,
He was dapper.
Yeah,
Very,
so-
I mean, that's the best word for it,
Dapper,
isn't it?
right.
It really is.
Dapper is the one. Yeah.
And, as we were talking about kind of having the previous, all these special events had been created over the last about 10 years of running the festival, but then before that, because this is a 30-year-old festival, it started, as Chris said, at the museum with it's just a little concert in the museum. It actually started as a fundraiser for the museum.
So is there a Cole Porter Museum in Peru?
Well, there's a great exhibit in the Miami County Museum.
Which makes sense, yeah.
In Peru,
Yeah.
which is an amazing little museum, and it's not even that little.
I didn't even know that was there.
It used to be the Sanger Dry Goods store, so it's got like 4 different stories.
Oh.
And
Wow.
it's like a 120-year-old building.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's amazing.
See, the only reason I go to Peru is like ghost hunting stuff.
Yeah, she's in the ghost hunting.
Oh,
Okay,
that's cool.
All right, we can talk about ghost hunting.
Okay.
For sure. Anyway, so it started at the museum as a fundraiser, and then it turned into kind of a one-day kind of street music festival.
Yeah.
And then kind of for a variety of reasons that went away, and all of these the people who'd been doing it for the past 7-8 years introduced all of these different special events.
Yeah.
They brought in Charles Troy, this theater historian, to do some of these educational components. Our local doctor of music.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, well,
Get up
so
there.
so
There's
that's Charles
Troy.
Troy,
There you go.
exactly.
Yep.
And he's a theater historian out of Chicago. And the guy who has left is Dr. Jason Gornto, who grew up in Peru and is a music teacher at the Peru High School now, and he's directing a lot of stuff in the area. But anyway, he has done this whole cool thing where it says it right there, it's immersive. You feel like you're having lunch with Cole Porter.
Yeah.
He tells his story and attaches it to the songs, and it's different every year. So it's kind of one of those repeatable events. You can
go to, maybe learn something new.
every year. Yeah, there's always something a little bit new. Same thing with Charles Troy. He brings a new talk every year. He has done that 5 great stories and 5 great song stories.
Yeah.
But then the one I think is just below that, Kiss Me Kate, that is a brand
go.
new one that he just brought out this year.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That'll be premiering live at the festival, I think.
And tell me a little bit about Elizabeth Doyle.
So Elizabeth is an amazing songwriter, cabaret performer, and she came last year to perform Saturday night as part of our kind of headlining cabaret act it kind of happened right before the cover tune contest. We kind of had like a double headlining thing last year.
Yeah.
And so anyway, she introduced the idea of the songwriting workshop because it's another offering that she had. She's like, hey, I'm in town anyway. Do you want me to do this thing? And so we're like, yes. And I got to attend it. There was about 12 or 13 people there. It was about a 3-hour thing. And just everybody ended up with a snippet of a song that they could kind of walk out with. But they really learned just kind of the basics of songwriting in this really open and generous way. It is.
You're not very good at it.
Oh yeah, she's coming at me now.
That's
See, in my band. I'm the vocalist and I write the lyrics, so she's coming at me right now.
Oh, that's
Are you
good.
going to pay the $10?
Yeah, you gotta pay.
I'll pay.
Okay, all right.
Maybe I'll send you in there and you can write my next album.
I'm not writing any songs.
Yeah.
But it's great because it's a very relaxed thing. There's no pressure to it, so you don't have to have ever written a song before or even aspire to be a professional songwriter. It's still a great sort of
We'll do it together
therapeutic
and
in a
record
way
it.
experience.
Totally, yeah. And actually, but it is designed to where, because like I'm a pretty experienced songwriter, not because I'm related to Cole, that just kind of happened. So it's cool. But yeah, so I got a lot out of it, and I've been writing songs for a long time. So I think
when you have somebody knowledgeable, it's you can. I mean, it doesn't matter what level you are. There's this really great YouTube series where they do like the 5 levels of music theory.
Yes.
Where they start with like a child. And then they go to like an older kid, and then like a teenager, and then like a person who's in college for music, and then like a big person who knows what they're talking about. And it's like explaining the same idea multiple different levels. And so you may be the baby. You may be the baby for the first time you go to the workshop. That's okay. You don't have to know everything. That's the great thing about songwriting is there's always a place to start. And I mean, sometimes iambic pentameter. You know, I know there's a good connection between Cole Porter and Shakespeare. Doesn't he have a song about?
Brush up your Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Start quoting him now.
Yeah.
Brush
about picking up chicks. It's about picking up chicks, fellas. By knowing your Shakespeare.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would it be about chicks though?
About picking up chicks, fellas. Hold on, fellas. Let me tell you about picking up chicks. First thing you got to do is. I'm just kidding.
Don't listen to him.
Don't listen to me. I'm
You
the
go to
worst.
Farm and Home, and there's a big barrel there, and you pick
up
up
the chicks.
pick
Yeah.
up the chicks,
Yeah.
right?
Rural King, wherever you got to go in Kokomo, go up to Rural King, get you a nice little chicken.
There it is.
They let you
Plug
pick
in
them
all
up.
the
Yeah,
places.
just plug all the places. Now check out the Cole Porter Festival. That's what you need to be checking out. Yeah, we've got a lot going on here in Peru, Indiana.
That's where I was trying to go to. Was, yes, like the big thing that we're bringing back this year for the 30th is the outdoor live music
Right here?
festival. Exactly.
let's go
So
close
it's
on
going to
that.
be 2.5 days of live music, open air, free to the public. We're going to have some really great. Our food vendor is not quote unquote carnival food. Everyone in the
Yeah.
circus town is used to carnival food. So these guys have crab cakes and grilled chicken and seafood, and it's going to be some
Whoa.
skewers and heroes.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so the food itself is like up to Cole Porter's kind of sophistication level, but it's something that everybody can enjoy. 'Cause
Absolutely.
it's delicious.
It's the only reason I'm working on this.
It's
is
because for the food.
to get some of that food.
And if you're missing Kokomo, you can see the Kokomo Men of Note will be there. Ginger
Yeah.
Beard Man, I know those guys play a lot in Kokomo.
Yep.
And,
Nice.
Yep.
Busker Janky, that's who I need to see just from that name alone. That's a great name.
So
Busker
you know that's
Janky.
Ward Roberts, right?
Oh, is it Ward? Okay.
Yeah.
See, he told me earlier. I was trying to be
you
a little
peeled the
sneaky.
mask
No, it's
off.
okay. It's okay. You got him earlier with it, so I got to get you. Now he did tell me he was gonna perform there, and I think he said it's his first time, right?
His first time performing at the festival, yeah.
Yeah, he said he's right after his father. He said his father. is
Yeah,
before.
so the
And what's he?
Swampwater Stompers,
Stompers,
that
okay.
band's been a band for almost about 30, almost 35 years.
Oh
now.
man.
Yeah, long
They
time.
are amazing. It's
Yeah.
this kind of music, this Dixieland trad jazz that is
Wow.
like it's a challenge to not smile and tap your toe when they're playing
It
these
is.
songs. It's just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I know Ward told me. He said he's hoping that the Swampwater Stompers get enough people there so that when he goes on right after with the Busker Janky act, that they'll stay long enough to see him
Yep.
perform. So
Critical mass.
that's
yeah.
for you, Ward. All right, if you watch this, Ward, you'll know I put it out there. People, stay.
Yeah. And Award's great.
Don't let
very
him scare you off.
entertaining.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
He'll be
Well, and
fine.
the difference is, I think, between Swampwater and some of the other guys who are playing on the main stage over the weekend, I believe Busker Janky, I should say, is one of the only main stage acts that's going to be 100% Cole Porter set.
Woo.
So that's pretty neat. Normally, like our
Wow.
purest event is usually the music at the museum. 100% Cole Porter songs
Yeah.
are performed there. Everywhere else, we just want to get people enjoying music and asking who is Cole Porter.
Yeah.
But so it's going to be really cool. And I know Abby Thomas is also preparing
let me
her
see.
Abby Thomas trio. She says she has some
Abby
Cole Porter
Thomas.
songs that she's throwing in. Too.
There we
She's
go.
from
Yep.
Goshen.
Goshen. Okay.
And then Nostalgia Entertainment, they were originally from Peru, Indiana. They live in Chicago now. They're a cabaret act, and they have been playing the festival for many years.
Eel River Band,
Yeah.
Coral Reef. You guys got some really cool water names. Eel River,
Yeah,
Coral
right?
Reef, Swamp
On the
Water.
Wabash, man.
Man,
And
they're calling it out.
This is a big undertaking because it's this sort of outdoor village we're creating on West 5th Street with a professional mobile stage that's covered with pro lighting and sound. So all of that costs more money, and to book all of these bands, so it's because of sponsors and support like Makita,
Yeah, we'll go on.
Cotronics, PNC, Dean Baldwin, Psi Iota Z,
Yeah, shout
sorority.
Yep.
Shout
That's
out.
the reason this is possible, and of course, again, Polly with the cover tune contest.
Well, and
Yeah.
within all of that, Rediscover Downtown Peru, which is probably at the bottom of that poster,
Yeah,
is the Main Street USA organization under which we are able to function.
Okay.
So they're the 501(c), and they are the ones that have been doing amazing things for downtown Peru for a good 6-7 years now.
there we go.
And so Cole Porter Festival has come under that umbrella,
Yeah.
and they're really amazing.
This is
lot
your
of
chance to
liquor
screenshot.
supply.
They got a QR right here, so
Yeah.
screenshot
Oh,
that, and then
right.
you'll always get back to it, even if you don't have this here. Or check out the Facebook page because that you guys have a lot going on there, and then there's the website you can get there from the Facebook page as well. But obviously, look, you got ColePorterFestival.org right here, so you guys can see it all. It's also got the information. So that's the great thing about, like I said, it's not just a poster; it's a menu. You can see all the great
Yeah.
things that are going on. I love this because we have in Kokomo, we have the Haynes Apperson. That's what we have. That's our big one. We have got a few. We got Rib Fest. We got a couple of great ones.
Strawberries
But
coming up.
Strawberry Festival is the weekend before, so go get. That's what I was telling
The
Ward
hippie
earlier. It's like,
festival. We've got a lot of
hippie.
stuff.
Yeah,
this
that's in
summer.
Tipton.
true.
That's in Tipton.
No,
But,
right,
but I
Tipton.
mean, like in the general area.
Yeah, it's great because and they're all on different
Festival
weekends, so check them
Earth
out.
festivals and
Yeah, come for
Tipton
one,
Festival.
stay for all.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I would say there's still tickets available for most of these ticketed events.
Yeah.
But they are selling real fast.
Yeah.
So if people are interested in any of those events, I would advise order now.
So is this like a 21 and over thing, or is it like an adult thing, or do you have things for kids, or?
Good
Some things say,
question.
see, if you look on here, that's why this menu is so great. It'll say like free for all ages, or it'll say free for 21 plus,
Yeah.
or
I
it'll
just saw
tell
at the
you they
top where
need
it
to
said 21
15.
plus.
Yeah,
There
there's
Some
are
things.
some things like lunch with Mr. Porter because there is, liquor served in that
Yeah.
event. So
Yeah.
that's no minors in that. Roaring 20s parties, say Magnifique, those are all 21 plus events.
Yeah.
In the village where the Fifth Street music is happening, there'll be a perimeter that's,
We do have a wine and beer garden.
Okay.
Ooh.
wine and beer,
Yes.
so alcohol only. But then there'll be areas where minors can, be able to see and hear the music and still have access to the food
Yeah.
and all that. But we will have those perimeters set up.
And actually,
Bring the
we're-
kids during the day and then at night. Come out.
Exactly, because during the day we also have our Miami County Farmers Market, which happens right across
Oh,
the
wow.
street. So there's a bunch of awesome local vendors and wares that happen there. And then Cassie, a woman y'all probably know pretty well.
Yep, we know
Yeah.
She
Cassie.
does her second Saturdays, which is the Rediscover Downtown Peru. Every month they do something second Saturdays, kind of like your first Fridays
Yes.
here in Kokomo. And so that's both of those events are happening the Saturday of this festival.
Great.
So there's going to be a lot going on in downtown Peru.
Yeah, and it's a good weekend. It's like I said, the June 9th is Tuesday or Thursday, and that's where they're going to kick it
And
off. And I
that's
think
Cole
that's the
Porter's-
plates of Peru.
It
right?
is, and that is Cole Porter's actual birthday.
Yeah, okay, so that's
Wow.
yeah, you guys have to
Yeah.
incorporate
That's
that.
why we
Nice.
have it the second weekend of June, even though there's.
But that starts on the 9th, and then throughout the week, there's, like I said, all the way 10th, 11th, 12th. There's so much Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, like, if there's tickets, the ticketed event, like Chris said, you better get to them now because they might not be
The
there.
12:30 bus tour is already sold out.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the other two bus tours are getting close, and Lunch with Mr. Porter, I think, has like 2 tickets left or something.
All right. There you
yeah.
guys are selling out.
It's
Yeah,
a good time.
But that's
It's a
good, though.
time.
that's good stuff.
Oh, and
And-
as far as
Very
For
exciting.
for us not having any idea that it was a thing.
yeah, I'm the worst. I'm the worst. I honestly feel very ashamed, actually, that I didn't
Yeah.
know about it and that I learned this way. But now you guys,
All I knew about Peru was the circus stuff.
That's-
and coal is a big
what-
deal in American history.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's kind of insane how little we know a town over.
What the only famous person we knew from Indiana was like Michael Jackson.
Well, he's pretty famous.
It was
Michael
Yeah.
Jackson. Well, we talked. Ward and I did discuss a bunch of them earlier,
did you?
so we did. We'll leave that. But
Okay.
there's a lot. David
John
Letterman, John
Cougar,
Cougar Mellencamp. Like you got,
yeah.
you have
Crystal
so many.
Gale.
Yeah, like Sage Steele. We were talking about because we talked a little bit of basketball because
Right.
Oh, of course.
he does have a Hoosier Hysterics podcast,
Yes.
so it's
That's
about.
awesome.
And he had Jordan
I'm
Holes
glad
on
I wasn't
there.
there for that.
Yeah, that's why I was like, get out of here. You don't want to talk about it. We talked about old stuff. Tom Crean. We talked
Let
about
you have your guy time.
Archie
Yeah.
Miller, Mike Woodson. Let you have your guy time. Yeah.
Ward's good for that.
Yeah, Ward. And the great thing is he actually they get good people on there. He's not just this isn't a hobby. He's like
No,
get
it's
in
his
there.
thing, yeah.
He's
So
killing
he's
it.
got a better podcast than us.
Yeah, he's got it way better. Very specific though.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
Ours
I like
is for
this
Kokomo
one.
people.
This
Ours
is
is,
chill.
ours
This
is
is chill.
wrestling
Yeah,
and
yeah.
festivals now.
Wrestling.
No, I love-
no,
and
wrestling
festivals,
and
that's
wrestling.
great.
She's good. Yeah, we do a lot. Most of ours is centered around creative people. We want
Yeah.
and like creative institutions and doing things in the community and so that's why this was having the Cole Porter Festival be a part of this podcast is a big deal for us, and
Cool.
we were really excited about it because it's an art festival. I mean it's an arts festival. It's
Yes.
about a man who was an artist. He was a true artist. He's from the area. Whereas, most of the time when we're talking about festivals, we're talking about cars here, we're like
Yeah.
Haynes and Everson.
Yeah.
So it's
True.
great to talk about, there's a songwriting workshop. There's a bus tour to learn about the area. There's a guy who's dressing up as Cole Porter, and you get to have an entire meet and greet, and a lunch with him, or lunch, right?
exactly right.
Lunch. It's
This
great.
is an experience more than a
Yeah.
festival.
100%.
it is.
Come out.
It's almost a themed attraction.
Yeah.
We
I like
appreciate you all appreciating it and
Yeah.
having us
Yes.
on because that's all
Seriously.
part of this mission to make it more visible to a
Yeah.
wider demographic and
important. Yeah,
not just Peru.
yeah.
And so
And
we
that's
really appreciate it.
that's what I think is important about the whole thing is that if you haven't heard about the Cole Porter Festival, now you have. Now you have no excuse.
Right.
You go out there, have a good time. Because the thing about me is I've been, to the Tipton Festival. I've been to the Hippie
When you
Festival.
think of festivals, you think
I
of
haven't
like
been to Cole Porter
kiddie
yet. What's
rides,
wrong?
and you
Yeah.
think of like
Carnival.
concession carnival foods
Yeah.
and bounce houses, and maybe like a band, but you
Yeah.
don't. Or
that
like,
you wish would
Well,
shut
you
up.
go-
Like, why are
you
you
go with,
ruining
like-
an Axl Rose song?
like I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to buy all these weird things that I don't really need, and
Yeah.
you guys are playing.
Little emeralds and little
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
Totally.
Like this is completely different.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
it's very
this
This
is
is
way
unique.
cool.
very involved, and you get to pick what you want to do, and there's different activities and stuff. It's not just go there, spend all your money, and then go home with a sunburn. And
No, totally. Although we do have some pretty cool merchandise. I might be wearing the shirt, and it might. Can I turn around and show everybody the back?
Absolutely.
I don't know how that works.
Don't tip over audio gear.
I don't know
No,
if
you're
this
good.
work. Can you see it?
Oh, now let me change the view. Oh, there you can kind of see it. Let me
So
move
these
to the
are
guest
his
view. Oh, no.
titles of his songs that we put together
Oh, great.
into a little let's fall in love kind of thing.
Yeah, I like
cool.
that.
So
That's
everybody
cool.
can screen capture that if
Yeah,
they
screen
want to see
capture,
more
take
of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got
so
so
many.
many great song titles about love that if you just string those titles together in the right way, it forms a love letter.
Great. I just
amazing.
got engaged, so now I know I don't have to write my vows. I just
Exactly.
say, Cole Porter, thank you very much. I just use all
Yep.
your lyrics,
Yep.
and then I can focus on more important things like the bachelor party. All right. Let's
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding.
No,
My
for
girl's
real.
gonna kill me.
And that's where anything goes.
He won't let me
anything
be.
goes.
He won't let me be as a man of honor.
Yeah, she wants to be the best man. She wants to be man of honor, and I'm like, I don't know, Mary. You know, you have to
These
wear.
days?
Yeah, nowadays it doesn't matter.
Anything
doesn't
goes.
it? Anything goes. I do. I love that. I love that. That's so funny because of all the songs, and it's such a great song. I love it. Night and day. I get a kick out of you. I get no kicks from cocaine or champagne,
Yeah, right.
depending on who you talk to.
They're both in there.
Yeah.
Champagne. I like to do the cocaine one just because
Because it's fun.
it's a little bit more
It's
crazy.
a little bit risky.
Yeah.
Another example of
risky.
how
Because
he
you
was
don't
singing
drink
about
champagne.
Yeah.
Champagne.
Modern rap songs. There's liquor, there's drugs, there's
Right?
decadence, there's furs, it's got a little bit of it all. That's why I really think that Cole didn't know it. He was a hip hop artist. He just was the original.
I'm
hip-hop-
so glad you said that because I've been thinking that a lot.
Yeah, there's so many parallels between modern hip hop culture and a lot of what he was
He
doing.
was the
back
original
then.
white rapper.
He was the
He
original
was.
white rapper. Yeah.
He was.
Jermaine Cole, J. Cole Porter. No, I made that joke with Porter.
Vanilla
I stole it.
Porter.
That's the Vanilla Porter. Well, there's a rapper J. Cole, and I was like
okay.
J. Cole Porter.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great how much like he is applicable to nowadays, and like the syncopation. We talked a little bit about that, and how like the lyrics in and of itself has a very cool bite to it, which is very hip hop esque, and that's why I think if you're a hip hop artist right now watching. Courtney's brother. I'm talking to you. He's a rapper. Take some. Just go in there. Just take a couple Cole Porter lines. Throw it in there. I'm gonna, I'm gonna stay away from
trying to get my
horses like
brother
Cole
sued.
Porter or something like that. I know that was a crazy thing that happened to Cole Porter. He did get his legs taken from him by a horse. Just
Is that what
rolling up.
all I heard in the documentary was something was removed and then he died.
Oh man,
kind
yeah.
of.
And then I was like, what did I miss?
You were trying to catch up doing laundry. She's always doing that.
Yeah, no, he had a really bad horse riding accident,
Yeah.
and the horse landed and rolled over and like crushed both of his legs. So he had multiple surgeries on many of his legs. So he lived in a lot of pain for the last decade of his life. And then basically at one point it finally got, even after multiple surgeries, they finally were like, nah, this leg's got to go. And after, he didn't live much longer after that actually.
Yeah.
But I don't think
He
it
had
was
an
the
impacted
surgery
kidney.
that
I
did
think
Was it
he
impacted kidney?
said that he was done,
Yeah.
or he was done or something, and wanted everybody to leave, or I can't remember.
There was he had a flag. So what you're
Yeah.
talking about is he had a flag that they would fly above whenever he kind of didn't want guests because he was like doing a swimming or maybe he was dealing with stuff. He had a nurse and he had a lot going on, man. He had a lot of pride in himself. He didn't want
should have
people to
paid
see
attention
him.
better.
I know it's hard.
It caught me at leg
But if you're-
amputation, and then I finished it out kind of.
If you're curious now, like that's so much of all we're trying to do is just get people curious about this guy.
Yeah.
And he becomes
There's so
more.
much interesting stuff to find out.
yeah.
And he
And you don't have
becomes
to know
more
everything.
identifiable because though he was wealthy and was this celebrity, he had these physical challenges and personal life issues.
Yeah.
And everybody can identify with that.
And
he had struggles.
The modern idea or the modern the way we look back at times and we see this man, he had a lot of money, but we also know he couldn't live out. You know what I mean? He was a gay man, who couldn't just be out. And, nowadays we've got a little bit more, a tolerance for people and acceptance and tolerance, and everybody's great about it. And back then, he didn't have that ability. So, but he also, he was a great man. He did some great things. He wrote some songs that still last. He wrote some Broadway musicals, like that people still listen to now. There's two of them you guys said that's still on Broadway.
So on Anything Goes is the one that was last year. It was on. They relaunched it on the West End, and it was a smash hit. They extended their run, and then they started live streaming it, and PBS just live streamed it last month. or earlier this month. Sorry, I'm losing track.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so there's that one, and then there's his musicals come back all the time over different things. But that's the one that's going on right now.
Yeah,
with Sutton Foster, who actually is really involved with the theater program at Ball State.
Yeah.
FYI.
Just a little bit closer to you. No, we're losing you a little bit. I can hear you a little bit in my headphones. I just want to make sure people can hear you because they need to hear it.
I keep forgetting about that.
I know it gets so easy to talk. And she's like, "There's so many angles. I got to keep looking at all these different angles."
No, I'm a stage girl. Like I don't know.
Yeah. So before Lin-Manuel Miranda, there was Cole Porter. He was putting songs out there, and they're still coming out. You guys are still hearing them everywhere you go. I'm excited about this, and the great thing of Courtney, we were talking a minute ago. You watched the documentary, but the great thing about the Cole Porter Festival is it's also teaches you about Cole Porter, so you don't have to know everything. You don't have to know everything to go. No. So you don't have to have all the information because you can learn a lot at the festival.
Yeah.
And to that point, actually, we were inspired by a couple different festivals that are, in the country already. The one being South by Southwest. They started off as a little festival for film, and then they expanded, obviously, to music, and then they got into these interactive components, and then they got into this educational area.
Yeah.
So they kind of have 4 festivals in one. And so we kind of like, it makes a lot of sense with Cole Porter to be, there's so much to learn, to your point, and there's so much to apply it to. So taking the Charles Troy and the idea of immersive kind of entertainment, but then also going with the songwriting workshop, which is so specifically relevant to him.
Yeah.
And then expanding the new thing that we're kind of promoting this year is there's a new recording arts Miami County Recording Arts Studios just started in Peru, so it's a recording studio. And they're going to do this production workshop and discussion, which there's a lot of amazing live performers who know how to do live performing in Peru, Indiana,
Is that one of
and
these?
the surrounding
To the right.
area. All the
Yeah,
way
that's-
nope, all the way to the right.
Oh,
Sorry,
that's-
that's something else I'll talk about.
Okay, cool.
So it's this guy right here.
Okay, great. Sorry.
And so as far as the tools of song recording and production, as it says, it's just kind of going to be an overview for anyone. There's a lot of people who can set up a PA and plug in an amp, but to actually get yourselves recorded to where you can distribute your music more widely is something that a lot of people don't know how to
talked about that
do.
last
Yeah?
week with
Yeah, the guy that was here before that helps me out, Matty Kroll, he was on the podcast last week, and he's the Cole Porter over here. He does everything. He does like film. He does art. He's a musician. He plays guitar, plays drums, plays keyboards, recording engineer, master mixes for a lot of local bands. He does a lot. So it's very cool that you guys are offering this. So if you're into nowadays, you can do recording at home, which is pretty great. So, but this will actually help you learn a little bit more and get more in depth about what you want to do in music production discussion workshop. And that's who's that with?
That's
Carl. Now. And I think he let us know that he very well might be. He actually is involved with the festival pretty deeply as well. Last year he was the director of the festival, and this year he is our technical kind of production guru guy.
Yeah.
He's a great guy and very knowledgeable. And I forget exactly where he got his background from, but basically the audio engineering part of it, he's really excited, and he might be taking a Cole Porter song and doing his own little production of it to use as an example in this workshop.
Let's do We Are the World, but anything goes. We are the world. Anything goes. Do it all as a group. I think it'll work. I think people would love it. Or we could also do. I get a kick out of you because just being able to say cocaine. I want cocaine.
We gotta get you in that cover tune contest. Is it too late?
No, I think we have one slot left.
I might have to get in there. I'm a little bit nervous.
We have an EDM artist this year competing.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know if
exciting.
Anytime I enter like a multiple different types of music stuff, I always end up losing because I'm not as cool as those guys.
No, that's what's so cool about this though is it's not about the genre itself. It's about how well you imagine your cover tune of his song in your style. It's like how well do you fit it into your style?
I'm gonna get a hold of Matt. Me and Matt are gonna do it together. We'll do a Tenacious D version of it.
Oh my god,
that's it.
My
That's what
heart.
we're talking about right there.
And anything goes, anything goes.
Yeah,
I have to do that song.
It.
It is my favorite one, and I've had that song stuck in my head. See, one of the things about the music from Fallout 4, and I gotta tell you this because this is a hilarious story, is I got the flu really bad playing that game.
Oh no,
really bad, and it's a really weird game because it's like a post-apocalyptic world, but everything was stuck in like the turn of the century
Yeah.
music. That's why everything developed in this way. They got fusion energy, and then there was a big atomic bomb from the Chinese. It was like a crazy Russians and Chinese, and you see all this.
I
And
gotta
it's
play this game.
and
It's
it's
really good.
very fun. It's immersive. And I was playing the game, and I got this really bad flu. And the music in the game, there's a radio station that plays all these older songs, and there's like there's Anything Goes as part of the, but like there's a lot of other songs on there that looks like the Ink Spots. And trying to think of who else is on there. There's a lot of really old songs on there that are great. And I was listening to the music playing the game, got really sick, and then I would fall asleep, and it's like they would play in my head, the music would, and it got to the point where I was like having fever dreams where the music was the soundtrack, the music from the game was the soundtrack. So for a while I could not listen to the music.
Like it?
That's what I'm saying. It took me forever. It's like, drinking tequila and like, I'm never touching tequila. I can't even think about it. That's how it was for a minute, but you got to come back to it. It's good stuff.
Get it. Well, we've been hearing
stuff.
Cole Porter in our heads 24 hours a day for about 9 months, man. So I totally get it.
You guys, I'm preaching to the choir here. They know way more than I'll ever know about
Well, we
this
didn't
stuff.
have the flu part of it though. That
No.
But you know what? That sweet songbook seminar, I'd love to chat about that real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah,
because
let's
it
do
is centered around the relevance of Cole Porter, as stated, and we have Charles Troy and Elizabeth Doyle coming in as panelists. We also have Polly Dobbs.
Yeah.
We'll be coming in Ward Roberts as panelists,
There you go.
and hopefully a couple of others to be announced. But basically, it's at our new brewery in town, Seven Pillars, which is named after a local landmark that was really and is still really significant to the Miami Nation. Miami Nation of Indians in Indiana, I think is how it's a long name.
I've been ghost hunting there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, totally. So
That's perfect.
We're very excited that there's a new brewery in town because it's really doing a good job. But
Yeah.
It's a great place.
So we're gonna have this, and it's called the Sweet Songbook Seminar because the Great American Songbook Foundation is in Carmel, Indiana.
Yeah.
And so they've been doing a lot of stuff, and we got inspired by that idea. And then there's fudge that is made only in Peru, Indiana, that Cole Porter ordered all over the world.
She's speaking my love language.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And so even though it's a free event, we're gonna have samplings of Peru fudge.
There you
for
go.
everyone to try.
I love how you guys have taken, the festival and made it even more all things Peru, which is great. It's such a great thing to have, to be able to do, and to celebrate a man who like I said, he did so much. And then you also have like so many things going on here. Like I'm looking at cocktails now. I saw the word cocktails and I was like, I really might have to do this as well. Look at that.
Believe
Oh
it or
my
not,
God.
that takes place at my grandmother. Well, what I knew is my grandmother's house.
Oh, that's great.
Daniel Barse Roberts is my dad.
Oh yeah.
And Ward's dad. And Barse is a really significant name at the beginnings of Peru history. So that's a whole different podcast we'll get into sometime later.
Okay,
but,
so
yeah.
will you say that name one more time?
Barse.
She knew
Yes.
exactly which one I was talking
Yes, because that's the
Barse.
everyone calls it. Like the Bears.
about. The Bears.
But that's not. What it is.
I mean, he is the Bears.
It's
That's
Barse.
literally it.
Totally.
That's amazing.
There's live music at that event by a guy named Dave Lowe, who is phenomenal.
He's originally from
Yeah.
Logansport. He's now out of Indianapolis, but he's a pianist and vocalist. He's fantastic.
You guys have oh my God. It's
lot going on.
honestly
And
this
and
menu.
all of these are at like different locations too, right?
Pretty much, yes.
A lot of it, I think Ward told me it's on like most of it's in like a 3-block area other
That's
than like
really
the
cool.
bus tour,
Most
which
of
is
it.
great because it's localized, but it also spread out enough that
Yeah.
you're not like, I've been at this house for 4 hours and now another
Right.
person's coming. It's not like a stage performance. It's like a multi-area.
Yeah.
Which is
And
great.
it's not
But there
gonna
is
be
a
super
stage.
crowded
There's going to be
and-
bands. So I know Kokomo loves our bands. We love music. We love live music. So look at this.
So you can do that, and also the other poster is 100% dedicated to the Fifth Street music stage and what's
there
going
we go.
on there.
Let's go there.
Because that's just this brand new component for this year, and we call out the other stuff that's happening on the main stage in the village. So the cover tune contest, the ice cream social where the Swamp Water Stompers are playing. That's all in that main village there for the festival.
Yeah, check it out. There's so much going on. It's like there's so many things that we want to hit on here, but you guys got to come out. You just got to check it out. There's so many things. Like I said, this is a menu.
Come hang out with us. It's gonna be fun.
Come with us.
One of us.
Come,
One
my
of
lady.
us.
Come, my lady.
And now we're
You'll
getting
never
into
get
the
me to
zombie.
Peru.
You'll never give me the
Be assimilated into the Cole Porter Borg.
Yeah.
Join us.
Exactly.
Join us in having too much fun.
Yeah. We're gonna have such a good time. It's gonna anything goes. That's the best part.
Bing.
Check it out. Yeah, but we'll go ahead and wrap this up. We got about an hour going, and I got to add a Ward on the end of this, and I want to make sure we get Ward special special thing. But we check this out. I'm gonna put this back up one more time so you guys can see it. This is the Cole Porter Festival, the 30th annual, June 9th through 12th in historic Peru, Indiana. Check this out. Thank you, Koti. Thank you,
Kati.
Kati. I'm messing
It's been an
up.
hour.
It's been an hour.
It's hard.
And Chris is way easier to say for me.
No, it's Christoph.
Krista, oh man, I messed it up again. But thank you guys so much for coming on. We appreciate everything here.
Thank you.
Check out this festival, guys. Seriously, it's going to be a blast. You're going to find me out there. I'll have a VIP on because I'm going to get a VIP. I'm going to VIP pass. Just kidding. I'm just forcing it right here. That's me forcing the VIP. We did when we did our festival. I still have a VIP pass over there from when we did it.
Oh, nice.
So I always
Yep.
need a VIP. But anyway, thank you guys very much for coming on here. Cole Porter Festival. Check it out. This is the Kokomo Press Podcast. I'm Jordan.
Courtney.
See you guys soon. 2 kisses. Bye, guys. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast. We really appreciate you. Check us out on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on all the social medias you can find us on. Or, if you want to, listen to us on Spotify, Apple, or, of course, our full video podcast is located on YouTube, the Kokomo Press. Don't forget about us. We won't forget about you. We love you. 2 kisses.